Hello, welcome to my third book critique set. So for this week, I decided to focus on the book Grandfather's Journey by Alan Say. And in this story, the author shares and reflects on his grandfather's journey from his homeland in Japan to the new world known as North America. This story beautifully illustrates each of the different geographical regions in which he traveled to, from deserts to plains to mountains. But over time, he misses Japan, so he returns. But no matter where he is, he realizes when he's in one place, he is missing the other. So, what I really liked about this story was first the beautiful detailed illustrations that brought each page and word to life, but also the concept that when you have two homes, you often long for the one when you are in the other. And I can relate to that in my life now and how I miss my home in Michigan, but often when I am home in Michigan, I miss my home here in Steubenville. So, for my first lesson, I decided to focus on first grade social studies, and here are the Ohio learning standards that go along with it. My first lesson regarding this book focuses on learning about the cause and effects of immigration and migration and helping students to understand the difference. In regards to the 4 C's, the critical thinking comes from teaching a lesson that deepens their knowledge and understanding about immigration and migration. Moreover, the critical thinking aspect carries over to the creative and collaborative portion of the lesson, where students have the choice to pick between two different research-oriented projects and create a poster that covers each of their findings. The first project is to let students research any country of their interest and to pretend as if they were going to go there, and they have to list what they would look forward to, but also what they would miss. The second project consists of having the students interview someone they know who has migrated from one place to another and to take note of their thoughts and feelings of their experience. The collaborative communication are further emphasized not only through the interview, but also through Pinterest. Once they are all finished with their posters, either physically created or digitally, I will post their creations on my Pinterest board to show to a wider audience so that others may be inspired by their work. So here's my Pinterest creation, and I created mine on Canva, but I would allow them to use any other poster making digital app, but this is mine, what I was so excited about and what I would miss. All right. And for my second lesson, I decided to focus on 5th grade science, and here are the Ohio learning standards that go along with it. Again, for this lesson, I give my students 2 different options of a project to do to demonstrate their understanding of the lesson on songbirds and the Sierra Mountains. To start off, the 4 C's again, critical thinking comes from their learning information about songbirds and the Sierra Mountains, and then through their presentation and creation of their projects to deepen and demonstrate their understanding. The creative aspect obviously comes from the creation of their dioramas of either songbirds in their natural habitat or a diorama of the Sierra Mountains and another mountain range to compare and contrast the two. The communication and collaborative aspects comes from both their presentations on their dioramas, but also through posting a picture of their creations on the school website to share their learning experience to their peers, other staff, and their parents. So other books that I read for this week includes The Adventures of Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend. This story is about Beagle, the imaginary friend who does not have a friend who imagined him yet. After a while of waiting and being overlooked time and time again, Beagle sets out to the big city to find himself a friend. The next book that I read is called Hello, Lighthouse. This beautifully illustrated story is a story about the lighthouse keeper and his life in the lighthouse. This story sheds light to how hard, dangerous, and lonely the lighthouse keeper's job can be. The next book that I read is Mariette on High Wire. This book is about a young girl named Mariette who helps out in her mother's boarding house where traveling performers from all over the world take their rest. One day, the mysterious and quiet famous tightroper walker, Bellini, takes a room within the boarding house. Mariette befriends Bellini, and eventually, with the support of each other, no fear will get in the way of these two from performing and walking on air together. The next book that I read is called Coming on Home Soon. This beautiful, realistic illustrated book takes place during World War II and is about a young girl named Ada Ruth waiting for her mama to come home from working in Chicago. Ada frequently writes to her mother, and she waits and waits to receive a letter back. Finally, one day, she receives a letter that informs them that her mama will be coming on home soon. The next book that I read is called Dad and the Dinosaur. This book is about the young boy, Nicholas, who looks up to his dad and sees him as someone who is not afraid of anything, just like his toy dinosaur. Thus, the only way Nick feels that he can be brave is when he is carrying around his toy dinosaur. Then the next book I read is Madeline's Rescue. This fun, rhythmical story is about the spunky young Madeline and the brave, heroic dog Genevieve, who saves her after falling into a river. After the incident, Madeline's boarding house takes Genevieve into their care, only to have her kicked out by the inspectors. Soon after Miss Claville and the girls go out to find Genevieve, they end up finding much more than they bargained for. And then the last book that I read is called The Funny Little Woman. And this fun old story is about a little woman who lives in old Japan. She loves to laugh and she loves to make dumplings. One day her dumpling fell into a hole, so she went after it and found herself in the most unusual place. Her two main strengths being making other people laugh and making dumplings, the little woman is able to use those strengths to escape a sticky situation and help her achieve happiness and fortune. All right, that is it. Thank you for watching.